these two apps script functions, letter to column and column to letter, convert spreadsheet column letters on Google Sheets into their equivalent numerical columns, and it also converts those numerical columns back to their original letter form. So in other words, it takes the column letter A, converts it to 1, and it takes the column number 1, that number 1, and converts it back to a column letter A. So to see, first of all, how this works, I'll just do a quick demo right here on the spreadsheet, and then what I'll do is I'll write a function in AppScript to see how this is useful. So first of all, equal letter to column, that's the first one, equal letter to column, capital A, you'll see will give you 1. If I change this to Z, it'll give you 26, and if I change it even to a double letter column, AA, it will give you 27. So this does work on single and double letter columns. Now, which is a lot of columns, by the way. That covers plenty of columns. So now, converting in the other direction, equal column to letter, you can enter a number, say number 5, and you'll get E, or say 27, column to letter, and it'll give you back column letter AA. Now, the real use of this function is not really on the spreadsheet itself. It's not going to be on the spreadsheet. It's going to be in code, which is why I said I would demonstrate the use of it here. So when we iterate through columns, right? When we do iterations normally in code, we use for loops, which work with numbers. And so we will use this to convert the column letters to numbers and iterate through several columns and write data to those columns. All right, so I'll just show you how that goes. So what I'll do here is just say write columns, function write columns, no parameters. It's just it's a macro, basically, no parameters here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is for var col, which is going to stand for column, equals letter to column. So I'm using letter to column because I know where I want to start. And for instance, I want to start in column A, right? So I'm going to say var column equals letter to column of A, right? Now, of course, I know that's 1, but imagine if I was starting on column AB or something, right? So by putting the letter to column A, I don't have to think about the number. I just think about the letter where I'm starting, okay? And then I'm going to say column is less than or equal to, because I want to know where I'm going to stop. Letter to column. And I'm going all the way to, say, column A, for instance, right? And I'm doing that because I want to just demonstrate the usefulness with double letter columns as well, right? And then finally column plus plus, because remember, this is a number. Once it's converted to a number, so I have to iterate it as a number, col plus plus, right? Column plus plus, going to iterate that number. All right, now inside of the for loop, this is where I'm actually going to write data. So for this quick example, I'm just going to go ahead and type out this whole thing. Okay, spreadsheet app dot get active spreadsheet dot get active sheet dot get range, and then now the range. So now remember, col is a number. So now I've got to convert it back to its letter form. So for get range, in fact, what I'll do to make it a little more simple, and I'm sorry I started writing that line, just pause that line for a second, this line here. Let's take it back a step. I just want to make a variable to make it more easily understood. Var letter, meaning the column letter, is going to be column to letter, right, of col. Taking column, the column number, and converting it back to its original letter form, so that when I use get range, I can use it this way. Letter plus 1, for instance, right? which basically means take A, the letter A that I just converted back to, and concatenate that letter. It's not just A, it's going to be A, B, C, D, all the way up to AA. Concatenate it to the digit 1 so that I am accessing row 1. Okay, that's what this is doing. Right? Get range. Okay, and then, whoops, whoa, sorry, that was my keyboard. Get range and then set value. So get range and set value to whatever I want to put in there. Okay, I'll just put the word head in. Right? And I didn't want to be too complex for this video. It's just a quick demo. But if you wanted to have different headings, what you would have to do is, you'd have like an array of different headings, and you would iterate. But for this, I just want to show you that I am iterating the columns and able to print the same data to each column in this case. So here I've selected write columns, the name of the function, and I'll click run. And typically if I want to run a function, I'll create like a button or something. But all right, for this, I'm just running it straight from the editor. Right, I ran the function straight from the editor, and you can see the result. It wrote the word heading, started in column A, it went all the way up to column AA. All right, so that's a practical use of letter to column and column to letter. That is what I have used them for many times over in all the different Google Sheets that I distribute. I've created a lot of Google Sheets that I distribute online, and I've distributed over several channels, primarily for e-commerce. And these spreadsheets are automated, and they have macros, and I use buttons and I use menu items to actually execute the macros. And so stick around. This might very well be the first video I've done actually demonstrating code of any kind, like actually showing you how to write something in code. So stick around. I plan to do more videos. This is just the beginning. I have plenty of functions that I've written, like plenty of functions in Google ActScript. I am now going to be distributing this code in a file that you'll open up that will look like this, where you can copy and paste the code over to your own spreadsheet. And then there's also, you can also install it. I also have where you can install it as a library. That's what I have right now as of today. With the library, you don't see the actual source code like you do here, but you can still execute the functions. So that's like a whole nother thing. But basically, what I'm doing now is I'm going to start actually sharing this code and teaching you what it's about and how to use it in a series of videos on this channel. So again, just, see the description of this video. I have contact information down there. You can email me. I have like Facebook. I even just created a Discord, and I have certain ways that I typically that you can typically contact me, and then see like my to sign up on my email list, download, see a link. There should be a link where you can go and like download my AppScript. I call it the AppScript Toolkit, which is all these different functions that I've used over the years. A lot of them I created myself from scratch. Some are adapted from things I saw online. It's a combination of things. But mostly I created functions I created from scratch on my own. All right, that are useful on Google Sheets. And that's it. I'm Mr. Mark, Mark Teach Tools. And yeah, I hope to hear from you either directly here in the channel, by email, otherwise, or I'll just see you around in another video.